You know how many things that's happened behind the scenes of these talk shows and stuff?
And we should be live momentarily.
Here we are again, because we've been here before.
Deja vu.
Deja vu. That's deja vu. Congrats on your show, though.
Thank you.
I think it's a great idea.
You saw the one with Peter?
I did. I watched it. I watched it from Miami. I did. Of course, if you ask Naked Departure, I was watching it.
You're good to go?
Yeah.
So once again, you know, that's the beauty about life. Life you can start over with television. Welcome to another edition, part 2, take 2. So, Shelly, let's start all over again.
Yeah.
Let me introduce you. You're a wife, you're a mother, and honestly, a very serious businesswoman. You were a former judge on Bank on Me, and I know how tough you were, but not in a negative way, because business, you have to be serious. You really have. It is not a game. It is not one day you decide one day you're going to wake up and everybody's going to be an entrepreneur. It's for a very small few.
Exactly. And if you don't, people have to understand, and you go into, a lot of people think, I'm going to become an entrepreneur because I want to be my own boss. It's not only about being your own boss, you have, everybody becomes your boss. So that client, that customer, everybody becomes your boss. So it's a difficult thing. So we, at Bank on Me, we try to prepare our entrepreneurs. Like, we want to make sure that you really want to be an entrepreneur. And by the time the program had completed, man, we had some great entrepreneurs, and we still use a lot of those entrepreneurs.
But I was there backstage with makeup and stuff, so I know what people were going through, and there were lots of really fantastic ideas, and there are lots of people there with talent that don't have the avenue. But before we really get into that, tell me how you got into being an entrepreneur. What drove you to want to be a businesswoman opposed to working for someone?
I work for so many people.
Okay.
I still work for everybody. I have so many bosses. No, I think an entrepreneur is something inside of you. You can almost tell, look at your children, decide which, and know which one of those children are going to become an entrepreneur. I almost think you can't even study. You could study business, but an entrepreneur is a born thing. When I see my son, Terry, from the time he was a little boy, he would do trick or treat, and he would go to school and sell the sweets. I knew that boy. That boy is going to be an entrepreneur right off the bat. I knew it. So I knew it. It's just you have to find out what your passion is. And for me, my passion is always service, and I love tourism. So my natural fit for entrepreneurship would be within that division. So, yeah.
And that's the one thing that I find coming out of the background as a pastry chef, so I know about service. I find that's kind of lacking a lot right now. Not in every department,
yes,
but it is across the board, because we are a tourism-based country, that I find that the service element is lacking a lot.
Yeah.
How can we help deal with that, even if in a small fraction?
Well, with tourism, I believe in, we just took on the management of the Red Caps, and these are 50 entrepreneurs we're managing at that airport. They're still working for themselves, but it was a lot of complaints about the service surrounding the Red Caps. And what we did is go in, we had to listen to what they were saying, what was stopping them from giving the service that was expected of them. And I think people have to understand, giving good service is not servitude. And there's a difference. People think if you go on behind, you're making a big deal about this person. No, it's about giving a service and loving what you do. So my businesses are all service oriented, and I was excited to get these entrepreneurs on. And I can tell you, if anybody has come back through that airport and have experienced those Red Caps now and those entrepreneurs, you will see that they are happier, they are more assertive, and the service has gone up, and they're happy. So I think we have to see what makes us happy or what's not making us happy enough to give a good job. Because if a man is not happy, he cannot give you a good job. If he's feeling like if he is not getting or working at the his maximum or seeing returns for his efforts, then he's not going to give you the service that you would want from him. So.
Well, I agree with all of that. No, so many people want to become an entrepreneur, even if it's just in their heads.
Yes.
Their heart and their minds and their soul has to eat, breathe this particular product or this particular company that they want to bring to the world and give it life. Where is it that we can go, or any person want to become this future entrepreneur, for guidance? I mean, true guidance in the sense of the legality, the organizational skills, what to do. Is there any organization that we have here that would truly guide these entrepreneurs in the right direction?
There are a lot of facilities. You have Fund Access that will help you. You have the Small Business Association, BYBT. There's so many organizations that I didn't have when 18 years ago when I started my business. There was nowhere for me to go. And you even have Scotia Bank. You have banks that actually, if they go on their website, they're teaching you how to set up your business plan, how to write a proper business plan, to go to the bank to get funding and financial institutions. So there are several people. There are mentors out there. I mean, anybody can call me, myself, my husband. We do a lot of mentorship into becoming an entrepreneur. But please bear in mind, all of us cannot be all of us can be an entrepreneur and still work for someone because we're representing ourselves.
Very true.
So bear in mind, every great idea might not be ready at this point. It might still be in the building stages, or maybe it's not the right time to roll it out. So we have to bear in mind that even though you have a great idea and sometimes you don't have the funding at this point, don't think that this great idea cannot come into being a few years from now.
Like with using the bike for example, so you go to the bike and you have a great idea, and you don't have any capital. You're a student. You have this great idea. How do you then take that to the next level if you have no car, no land as capital? What do they do next?
Greg, there's nothing they can do. Let's be realistic. The bank doesn't have money. They have your money. And so therefore they can't just, anybody that comes up with a good idea and comes in and has no kind of backing or no way of guaranteeing that when they give you, the bank gives away Greg's money to Shelly, that Shelly is not going to run off with the money, with her great idea, and then they don't have the money to pay back Greg when you're ready to call for your money. So it's hard. I was there, 21 years old. No, I could not get a loan. I did not, my last name was Badnock, not Williams. And so therefore, nobody knew. I wanted to start a service called Platinum Services. It was a service designed to expedite people through immigration and customs. Wealthy people that didn't want to stay in the line very long wanted to get on to, and give them a luxury arrival service. People didn't understand it. So what are you, a tour operator? No, I'm not a tour operator. Are you a travel agent? No, I'm not a travel agent. So it was very difficult. Sometimes you have great ideas at the time, and to explain the ideas and to get funding, I couldn't. I literally had to work and put my money, and I made my own uniforms because I could sew what you didn't know. Okay.
We'll get some fashion later.
So I made my own uniforms. I worked at the time when I started Platinum. I worked at Regional Business Systems, which they had Duplom machines, which are massive printing machines. So I got on the computer, I designed my own brochures and printed them. Please, Regional, don't look for me. Probably that was not an ethical thing to do, but printed them out and whatever. So I had to take money from my own self and build my business, and then I went in full full-fledged, get a contract, and I went in and I worked and built the company up from the bottom without any financing. But I would have, if I had maybe a fancy last name or a godfather or something, maybe I would have started my business a lot faster.
Well, my last name is Williams. It doesn't really help.
That would help back in the day. But,
my last name is Williams. It doesn't really help. You sure you want to be my godmother?
That would have helped me 21 years ago, but it didn't. But the good thing about going through that process is that you learn the ins and outs. You learn how to be resilient. You learn how to manage what little you have and grow your business. So nothing's wrong with doing it the hard way.
Okay, so Sherry Ann Norris. If you know Sherry Ann.
Hi, Sherry.
Remember when she was on Bank on Me?
No.
Okay, so
Sherry
Ann.
in Bank on Me?
She says, one.
Tell me.
3 sweet. When they turned me down from Bank on Me, I completely understood their decision. I had a fantastic idea, but I needed to show that I can make my own dream before, see more, to make it a reality. I go asking about financing. So.
Yeah, finance is a big thing right now. I mean, you can't do anything without money, Greg.
This whole
hard.
Production
It's hard.
is
hard.
out of my pocket, and so I understand, but just like you, I have the passion for it as well.
I like this crowdfunding thing, I think we can do a lot. If, Greg, you can use this kind of medium where when entrepreneurs do have good ideas, they should be able to come and seek funding from your friends and get it set up and things like that. But I mean, if you're doing something like a retail business, you're going to really need some serious funds.
Capital, yeah.
And looking for an investor will probably be. But also, don't discount places like Export. Caribbean Export and different. There are a lot of funds out there that I didn't have in my time that will give you money if you have, especially women, if they have a really great idea, they'll give you set up funds, and you don't even have to repay these funds, these grants. So
but you have to the
what
guidelines.
I'll forward it to you. And you can post it on for people within your.
But once you qualify,
followers.
whatever their requirements are, if you qualify for that, then they're sure that you are deserving of this money.
And they will give you, and you don't have to pay it back. So there are a lot of, go and do your research, go online, there are lots of grants out there. The Caribbean Development Bank is giving grants, Caribbean Export is giving grants, BYBT, there's a lot of different organizations giving Barbadians, and especially women, grants out there to do business.
So you have Platinum Services.
Yes.
And then you ventured into the W Salon.
Yes, I tried my hand at the W Salons, and I have a beauty mart also on the West Coast.
What is that like? How has that been? Because you're managing all three.
It's tiring. Well, now everybody with the W Salons have they're now their own entrepreneur. There are two. My son now has the W Salons, which is the tattoo shop. He manages. That is his business now. There's I'm nothing to do with that. And the one on the West Coast is actually My Salon, not My Salon. That's the name of the salon down on the West Coast. And so it's just entrepreneurs all under one roof. They pay the rent and they work for themselves. So nobody works for me there anymore. So I'm wholly solely into Platinum Services once again, which was what I started off in. But I'm always looking for good businesses. I like my hobby. I like to turn my hobbies into businesses. Money-making ventures. And then after a bit, if it becomes a little too overwhelming for me, I run.
Someone said I looked in at the right now. Well, okay, just try not to read what you didn't, right? So he just talking about how to start a business. I'm trying to figure out what he's trying to
What
say
kind
here.
of business are you starting?
He's not saying, but let me go back to Bank on Me.
Yes.
So you have so many ideas, so many people, and I saw the passion that these people were putting forward. I saw the tears.
Yeah.
And Mr. Abed put these people through the ringer.
Yeah.
You were about the service, the quality, and the aesthetic and stuff like that. And it was, so your numbers, how much did you make? And so he was solely about the account, and I get why. Each of y'all served a different function in
Yes.
terms of judges,
Yes.
and I respected that. I don't know if the person's always
Yeah.
like that, but
Yeah.
everybody had a strength.
Yeah, and don't be discouraged when somebody questions you with the numbers. I live with a husband that he questions my numbers all the time. Is this making money? How are you making money? How is this going to make money? So he is a very much a numbers man. Me, I'm a service. I work from, when I think about a business, I think about the service in which I want to give and creating the need. Is there a need for this? I start from that perspective. There are people that start business from the financial perspective. I, on the other hand, I start with the need. Is there a need for this business? And how do I convince you that you need this business? And once I have that figured out, I build the service and then I add a cost to that service. So I do it that way.
Okay.
My husband, on the other hand, he'll run the numbers, and if it makes financial sense, then he does it the other way. So both
But
ways.
the end result is the key.
Yes.
So whether or not you start it on your left foot or you start on your right foot, the end result is, can it make money?
Can it make money
at the end of the day?
Absolutely. And how do I make people want it each and every time?
How do you keep business fresh? Like, that's the one thing in terms of being consistent. Barbados, I am not knocking y'all. My disclaimer early. But I see a lot of businesses start hot and sweaty. And for the first year, maybe stretching 2 years, service impeccable. They start making money, they start cutting back. They start watering down stuff.
Sometimes we fix what is not broken. But I will tell you this much. We criticize Barbados a lot, but hardly anybody can touch us within the Caribbean for tourism. We have great clients and they keep coming back. And why? We must be doing something correct. And for me, luxury is doing the same thing every day like a robot and giving that good service to everybody, despite what. And Barbados has... we're having a really great tourism season. We've had a very good Christmas.
Despite everything else that's going on with the South Coast.
Everything, we've had a phenomenal season. Jets, private jets upon private jets.
But I've been on the West Coast in the last couple of weeks. I've seen the amount of people that are on the West Coast. So
Yes.
I've noticed
Yes.
the influx of people.
Yes, so we really had a great season, and we hope it continues. But we are still given the good enough. But it can fall. I'm not saying that we're perfect. But we have to pat ourselves on the back and say, listen, we have a strong product and our Barbadians are doing something right. There's not a lot of crime against tourists. When people are working within the industry, look at the entrepreneurs that drive the taxis. Look at taxi men. You ever went to the Caribbean and tried to get a nice taxi? You look at our taxis, Mercedes. We now have
all luxury vehicles.
Rolls Royce. I mean, we are investing in our product, and these are individuals. These are normal Barbadians investing in their livelihood, investing in tourism.
Someone says the platinum service team is locked on. Boss lady, hashtag boss lady, hashtag best boss. Someone wants a raise.
I don't know who that is, but anyway. Yeah,
but,
thank you very much.
But no, we tend to forget that we are in every form. What service we give, no matter how little, it means something to someone.
Absolutely.
And it's really important. People say, well, Barbados is friendly. And like a lot of celebs come to Barbados because we are not the starstruck sort of society where, oh my God, oh my God.
And we have to understand doing it the Barbadian way. What aggravates me a little bit is that, as you say, they start off really good, we start off really good, and then we want to make changes. Barbadians, don't change. You all are, I mean, we give an authentic tourism experience. And yes, we are not starstruck by seeing once or twice. I think we're more starstruck about our own girl Rihanna.
Yeah.
Than more about anybody else.
Riri girl, you want to do some tea with me?
Yeah. So we are more starstruck with our own girl. But we need not to change too much. I remember there was this talk about having the trolleys in the arrival hall, and people are saying, well, they're doing it all over the world, why can't we do it in Barbados? Why must we be like America? I like not pumping my gas. Okay? I like going in and having that gas attendant pump my gas. How much gas you want, darling? $20, thank you. And I say, don't use the phone. I like that. And much like I like coming in, seeing a red cap there, and saying to him, look, my bags are this, and he reeling it out. Instead of me having to go and pay $1 and push a cart, and I'm tired and it's late and things like that. So I think that we have to stop looking at the big countries and understand we have a special product, and let's protect that special product. And those are entrepreneurs. We're not cutting out entrepreneurs out of there. Those guys are given a service. They're paying for their way to be inside there. They work on tips and they feed their families. And we need to stop looking at the big countries. Who doesn't want to feed their family over there? No problem. But we need to be our brother's keeper and keep all of those entrepreneurs employed.
I didn't look at it that way, but you know what? What's next for Shelly?
What's next for me?
Any business ventures that you could talk about?
Right now, we're working very hard on keeping a very nice space that we would like to turn into a lounge at the airport. We would like it to be a landside lounge, because we see the need for when people come up from the islands, there's nowhere to sit on the inside. If they're smokers, they're not ready to go on the inside to check in. The counters aren't open. We've seen there is a need. Sometimes our hotels are so full and they need to send people to the airport. The airport needs that facility. So right now our interest, right now our focus is building out a nice little space that can be used by our red cap porters, can be used by platinum services employees, as well as offer a service to in transit Mustique and our neighboring islands that come in early and need some place to just rest their bags and air condition and sit down, and probably washroom facilities. So we are looking at a lounge, and really and truly we just continue to grow within the tourism product, because tourism is here to stay for Barbados.
I've heard lots of people say that we need to get away from being solely a tourist destination.
Why? It's working for us.
But I'm not saying, I don't know, but I'm just saying. So I think people are trying to get advanced in some form, but are they bringing an option to what else we can do?
Well, you have my husband that is very much into alternative energy. So there are other ways and means of, there's other avenues of making money in Barbados other than tourism. I mean, everybody can be into tourism. But let's not shun away from tourism. Tourism is our business.
Someone, Kareen said, I agree, don't change, feed families. Then someone says some things still need to change, improve, and be made digital. Some of it is convenience based.
Okay, what are those things that need to be digital?
I'm just going by.
Well, please respond back. I don't know who is
Danya,
Danya, respond back. I really want to know what it is that you think that needs to be digital. And
we need to diversify the economy. Tourism is fragile.
Our tourism product is not fragile. It's very, very strong. But diversification, nothing is wrong with that. And we do have that because we get revenue. No, we don't only get revenues from tourism. We get revenues from corporate international business. We get tourism from we're still selling sugar cane. We're still selling sugar. So it's not only, we still have agriculture, we still have services, goods
but
and
not
services
on a large
outside.
scale.
But right now, tourism is what's working for us. Dubai has done a full, their main money right now, is tourism. They're investing in tourism. Right now, St. Lucia is doing everything within their power to invest in tourism. So I don't think it is dying. I think that we have to continue to feed it, to keep it healthy, and keep our people interested in it. Despite, and I don't care if you're working in the supermarket, if you are working in the sanitation department, you are tourism, and you have a role to play in tourism, because as you see, the problem on the South Coast, it's going to affect tourism. So everything affects tourism and everybody. So it is a major part. We all have a part of Barbados right now.
We all have a part. And the one thing that everyone, when they come to Barbados, said, it is a friendly place. The people are friendly. They are giving. They help you. They're warm.
And
it is inviting. It is inviting.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people, and I see a lot of business change where they want the international person to come in. So I'm going to use this example. I'm not going to call the restaurant that I worked at. But so for me, it is about every customer that comes through that door that's able to pay the bill should be treated the same way as if they were the queen or if they were regular folk.
I agree.
As long as you can pay the bill,
I agree.
That is all that matters to me. So the person said, called a meeting and said, well, so-and-so is coming to dinner tonight. And I was like, you know me, Mr. Opinionated, but who's she? She come once, twice a year. And I have people who come like 3-4 times in a month. They bring their staff meetings here, they do whatever. And you want me to now roll out the red carpet because they're coming. Those persons bring more money than what she will spend tonight. So I think there's this whole thing about the bouge and the glitz and the glamour of a person coming. You want the elite at your place, but at the end they don't sustain the longevity of, like people have a lot of problems with Nikki Beach and everything, and with Red Door or whatever, because the patrons, when the season is finished, because we're all tourist based and everything, so when the season is done, are the patrons going to be the ones that are patronizing, the locals, are they going to be the ones that are patronizing these places?
True.
So you have to figure out how to have that balance of you wanting.
But people want to be where other people are.
Yeah.
So
very true.
I haven't been to Nikki Beaches yet because I've been traveling.
Oh yeah, because you just came in.
So
here,
I haven't been to Nikki Beach, but trust me, I've seen all the pictures. And I want to be where everybody else is.
Everybody's like, oh my God, I'm at Nikki Beach. Oh my God.
So wait for my picture. I can be in Nikki Beach sometime this weekend. So, but I am happy. I saw one post on Instagram. And the person doesn't live, they're Barbadian, but they don't live in Barbados. And his comment was, what are you going down to Nikki Beach for? Them people ain't care nothing about you, and that's a U.S. brand and whatever. Please, people, bear in mind that a local investor had to partner with an international to open this business. So this is very much a Barbadian, and they are going to be hiring. They have hired some Barbadians in there. Right now you have the St. Bart's people teaching us how to get it done the correct way, and we're going to have Barbadians. So those are jobs, and that is a local investor that has put this great product here. And to add to your thing, I think people get excited when they hear a certain name is coming to their restaurant, and not that that person is going to spend more or come more often, but they are able to capitalize on that name visiting. So I guess that's why they're saying, hey, make this experience great. So they'll be on their Instagram, or their people will see our people them there and come to us. So
I just think we are so social media driven.
Yes.
No, because that was like 16 years ago.
Was there social media then?
We all had a BlackBerry and stuff. And
I still have a BlackBerry.
Pling.
Yeah.
But things have changed. We are so social media driven right now that you go to dinner now, everybody taking pictures of your food,
Yeah.
they're taking pictures of this, the drinks. I mean, everything is posted, but there's nothing that is unturned when it comes to posting at a restaurant or a dinner, your service.
That's difficult for me though. I can't do that too often. Because if I post too often, then Cherry Veronica has something to write about. So I mean, like,
this is not show, girl. This is not show. This is just tea time. This is just tea time.
So I have to at least post a week later. So give me some breath, give me some air. So
right.
So I can't be as.
Let me fix my hair.
I can't be as current as as I would like to be. So I'm always like, if you see my posts, I've already come back off a holiday or something like that. So I'm always a little late.
It's just about tea.
It's about
tea and cookies. Okay, people, it's about tea and cookies. Nothing more. The tea time cookies, which people have later. So you say tea time. How do you eat your tea times?
Well, first let me tell you, this was the first place that my husband ever worked with Bisco.
Oh.
So we always have tea times in our house. Honestly, he just can't help himself.
You remember when it came in the multi-pack with the vanilla and the chocolate? I had to eat all the chocolate first and then eat the vanilla after.
My favorite are these two.
The chocolate and the vanilla? You're a basic girl.
I am very basic.
So not the strawberry chocolate or the vanilla chocolate or the chocolate?
I don't know if strawberry should be with chocolate.
But that's like dip. You have never had dip strawberries?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
I don't like dip strawberries though. For some reason, I don't like strawberries.
Girl, that's sacrilege.
I know.
That is sacrilege.
I like it. Give me vanilla or give me chocolate. I'm very basic. So.
But yeah, so you have to open them. You just eat them. You know, some people I got to open it. And
I have to separate,
yeah.
and I have to eat. I have to eat the cream part.
I eat the plain part first and then eat the thing after.
Yeah,
it is like
true.
you got separated. You look at it like, okay, that first, then that.
And I like
and then double stuff it sometimes.
I still like mine with milk. I'm a milk girl. I still drink milk.
Like Oreos and.
Yeah, I still drink milk, like a glass of milk. I go to the fridge and get a glass of milk. Yeah, it helps with my skin. Yeah, so that's how I like my tea times.
All right, so we come away from business a little bit.
Yes.
Shelly and fashion, because when it comes to fashion, I know you like your hats. I know you love a shoe. I know you love a shoe. And I didn't know if you were going to answer this question, but how many pair of shoes do you own, Shelly?
Should we go into I have groups, brands. So I have a lot
My brands are just cheap.
And they're separated in brands. I have some cheap brands too. I have a lot of shoes. I really cannot tell you how many.
You own any Christians?
Several.
Are they as uncomfortable as people say they are? They're not longevity shoes?
It depends on
the height.
The height, and what happens is many people don't understand that they are cut really small. So you have to sometimes even go up a full size to get comfort. And I don't go too high.
Somebody say yes. I remember the multi-pack. How much? Somebody said how much? LOL. Joyanne says how much? This is some good tea coming now.
I definitely have on display. On display. Let's in my closet on display. I have about 100 pairs on display.
Okay.
I still
Does your
have
foot
some.
see at least 50 of those shoes?
I've worn all of them.
At least once.
At least twice.
Okay.
I go out a lot. We always at something. And I love shoes.
No, I know you a long time now, Shelly. I know you a long time.
So I have on display, not inside the boxes. I mean, I probably have about 100 on display.
So Joanne said, let me start. I have 80 pairs.
Oh my! You see, I ain't too bad.
Joanne, girl, you're batting well. Are those on display? Okay. Is there such a thing as cheap brand or name some? Or is there such a thing as a cheap brand? Name some. Woo! Korean getting dangerous.
I know. I don't think there's anything called a cheap brand because most of the time when I buy my red bottoms, they're on sale.
Sally and Clarence.
Jeez.
Hello. Sally always do
Like
justice.
70% off, 80% off. So is that cheap? But no, I depends on the type of shoe. Because I like my flip-flops, and my flip-flops can be nice little rubber flip-flops for $20. I can buy flip-flops from
Old Navy
or anything like that. So, and I guess they're cheap, but I like them. I don't need to spend $1 million on flip-flops.
How many flip-flops could you wear? But another 100 pair on this.
You know, girls, we have a lot of flip-flops. We have a lot of flip-flops.
Are you one of those girls that you can play netball in heels and you would trip in sneakers?
I don't like sneakers. I have sneakers, but I don't like sneakers.
Flip-flops.
I'm too fat for sneakers, and I think I'm too old for sneakers. Like, I need height.
Oh,
I need
Lord have mercy.
to make me look taller, to suck in my stomach, to make me walk better. I think sneakers, I'm not a sneaker girl. I have sneakers, but I'm not a sneaker girl. And I leave sneakers for my daughter because she's young and hip and stuff. And I look fat and old in sneakers. That's how I feel. Sneakers are for when I go into the gym. But I do have sneakers.
Flip-flops are expensive in Barbados.
I like to buy my flip-flops from Urban Vibes. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is not an ad. I'm sorry.
But no, that's fine.
But
they can sponsor me too.
I bought flip-flops. They had some really nice little flip-flops that were cheap.
Queen Corinne would like to know what your diet is like.
What
they
diet?
Get it into,
I look like
did
if
they
I
get
do
it
diet.
in?
I need a diet. I don't have a diet. You know what I must have every day is a cup of coffee, at least 3.
But black or straight up?
No, with cream. With cream, no sugar. But I don't have a diet cream. You want to put me on one? Because I need to go on one. I haven't exercised in about 3 years.
I would have died about 1,000,000 times over a week, and I'm like brown paper bag. I just need to inhale the weights.
I really don't have a problem with my body right now. I feel like
it's just me. I just need to.
I know you need to exercise. I don't have a problem. I have nervous energy. I'm always moving around. I mean, I'm just not somebody that is in the gym, but I need to go for health. You know, it's good to get in some exercise in there. I'm not.
And to keep up with your businesses.
And to keep up. But I am always going. Anybody that knows me knows I'm on the road and going from morning to night. So, yeah, but I haven't exercised in 3 years. Gone to a gym.
Error.
In 3 years. And
error.
Jump every year. Jump every year. Fact. I love it.
Must-haves. 3 absolute cannot do without must-haves.
In clothes.
Fashion.
A great fitting pair of jeans. A nice high-waisted pair of jeans. I must have a great pair of jeans. I must have a jacket because I travel in a jacket and a pair of jeans. And I like white t-shirts. Anybody that knows me knows that I have at least 100 tees. White t-shirt, just white t-shirts. All white t-shirts.
As you age, coffee is good for you.
Oh, thank you. Who said that?
Corinne.
Corinne, thank you.
As she puts
sorry,
not Corinne, Cassandra.
Oh, Cassandra. Okay, because I love coffee, and that's all it keeps me.
Corinne is laughing at me and at the gym thing. No, seriously, that's my voice. I'm vexed I go to the gym. I'm happy I go to the gym.
I don't get it.
You see, the side effects is being healthy.
I
go to the gym so I look cute and sexy. I just happen to become healthy in the process.
Oh.
It's the other way around. You go to the gym because you want a healthy heart, you want to be strong and not have high blood pressure and stuff. No, I go to the gym because I want to look cute, and the side effects are I can be healthy.
Yeah, Okay, I need to work on that. You need to get me in the gym. I'm going to work on that. I need to be healthier for 2018.
But going back to, let's go back to business now.
Yes.
Beyond the tourist-based, your tourist-based knowledge,
Yes.
how do you see the businesses in Barbados right now? Not necessarily going into the economy issues,
Yeah.
but I don't want to go too deep.
Well, okay, that's fine. I am in retail as well. Part of my business is a retail business. I have the beauty mart. My sister has a beauty mart as well. And let me tell you something. Retail business is hard right now.
Sucks.
And I think it is, and it's hard because, and I don't want to say government, but I guess they make the taxes.
Someone's
and
watching from
customs
Guyana, hey.
and customs. You know, the duties on everything is just ridiculous. You want somebody to run a legitimate business. In other words, pay customs their just deserve. But sometimes the just deserve is just ridiculous. You cannot right now you can go away and buy everything. So you're competing with the wider market.
Okay, yep.
You have a shirt, you got a great deal on this shirt. You come to customs and say to customs, this shirt cost me 50 cents. No, this shirt should carry a valuation, some old valuation of $10, and that's what you need to pay on this shirt. And then you have to obviously put on the NSRL, and before you know it, this shirt is now costing from 50 cents, this shirt is now costing you, because you're paying freight, you're paying landing fee, you're paying VAT on top of that, you're paying NSRL, and you're paying the customs duties, whatever the customs man thinks you should pay on it. And this shirt has already cost you $20 now at this time, and you have to make back your money. So at least you want a profit, because you have to pay the girl that's selling the shirt for you, the electricity, the rent, all of that. So I think we have entrepreneurs, but we have to be mindful that we don't overtax and make it so difficult for people that are doing retail business to actually do the business honestly. You want them to do it honestly. So for me, lower the taxes in it to encourage people to go through customs and pay the correct duties and be able to pass on that proper price to the consumer. And right now, I think that is a challenge. It is hard to compete. So people are going to come in your store and say, well, I see that shirt for $5 I can order that straight off of Amazon and send that down. So, I mean, and they're not thinking that, you have all these other commitments and you're keeping people employed and things like that. So for me, retail business is very, very difficult. You have the man in the rum shop, he's selling drinks, yet the duty on alcohol is ridiculous. Man, lower that duty. Honestly, I feel so, because you have Coca-Cola, Sprite, the chasers, expensive. Those might need, and forgive me, I'm not the Minister of Finance. I'm just saying those people that are in those kind of businesses are not very wealthy people, and they have to sell on to the rum shop. They're selling on to the children. They're hawkers selling on to children and things like that. Those are the duties that should remain low, and encourage, help encourage the consumers to buy and encourage the business to keep afloat. It's hard to keep afloat right now.
Before I get to the next question, yes, customs and all the taxes are crazy. It can be very frustrating to try to stay afloat.
Yes, and being honest, afloat honestly,
For me, local products.
Yes.
You want a product that is of international standard.
Yeah.
That's what you're working with, because the demographic of Barbados is so small, you cannot just thrive by thinking about Barbados with your product. Whatever the product is, you got to get out of Barbados. And how do you think, because I personally, when Barbadians see a local product, they automatically have to think about it being inferior.
Yeah.
So you bring a product that is of good quality, is a little more pricey than the regular, whatever that product is. But because everything you just laid out, duty's so expensive, everything's so expensive, buying whatever is so expensive. For you to make that product now becomes more expensive because of everything that we have to
Absolutely,
pay.
it's expensive.
And then production costs, manufacturing costs in Barbados is
I mean,
immensely
we
high.
don't have sweatshops in Barbados. We don't have sweatshops. It's
Hot
okay.
shops, not sweat.
You know, they call it sweatshops.
I know.
So yeah, because we can't pay somebody $1 a month or a week to make 100 of your shirts or pants. So the costs, it's hard for us as Caribbean people to even compete in that market. But Barbadians also have to be careful that we are self-loathing. So if it is that it is a Barbadian doing it, we first have to criticize before we celebrate. And I think
it's
that
sad,
is the problem. And I know we celebrate one or two people here in Barbados, but generally speaking, if things are made here, we don't celebrate it enough, and we think it is inferior. Why? Shouldn't be. We have a lot of our things are still organically grown, so our food must be healthier. We have longer lives than a lot of the people out there, so therefore our things must be healthier. So the ingredients should be healthier. So I just think, and I've seen some really good packaging come out now for drinks and stuff like that you never would imagine
before.
So they're really good standards right now, and in terms of fashion, it's going to be still very, very difficult to penetrate that market.
Oh, you're preaching to the choir.
Yeah, and getting the quality and I don't know, do you get your materials, are you able to get those things duty-free and hassle-free?
Well, the duty-free, yes, apparently, but then you have to register with CEDA, and so that's my next pet peeve, but we're not going into that.
Right. We should. I was the deputy chairman on CEDA for.
Oh. Well, that's still a pet peeve of mine. But no, like seriously, so when you then, well, even my product will rock that style, and putting out the product there, I have some girls that work for me, they're absolutely brilliant. Mm-hmm. But I'm paying them their price because I want them to give me that great quality in my product. So when I put the price on, everybody goes, oh my God, that's expensive. Fine, which is fine.
Is it as expensive as Armani and all the rest?
But you see, but see, that's the thing, because it's a local product. It's not as established as the Armani in your head. So I'm wearing a big AX on, not this. But you're wearing a big AX, so it signifies something that you have a brand on. If you see a big RTS, does that mean that you're wearing a brand? As far as you're concerned, you're wearing a big RTS.
I think we need to start having some pride in our industry. And during these hard times, these are the times where a lot of greatness happens, creativity happens during this time. And I think we need to start celebrating Barbados and Barbadians and what we can do, and stop celebrating everybody else. I see that there are those sandals that are what is the name of the sandals? It's Jamaican owned, and I see all Barbadians are in them right now. Brittany,
I don't know.
I don't remember.
Help us, Facebook people.
Please help me with the one. It goes one strap, and everybody is wearing them. It's the biggest thing, and it's a Jamaican owned sandal, and Barbadians all wear it. Leather sandal. But we're proud enough to be sporting off. I don't have a problem with sporting off our brothers, Jamaica or whatever. But there's so many men in Temple Yard that have been making that shoe for a long, long time that we will not put on. Just saying. So visit Temple Yard. I'm sure you're going to find that. But it is a sandal that I've seen almost every Barbadian woman have in their things. Look and see if somebody remembers what that shoe is.
Natalie is the name, says Cassandra.
No. Not, I don't remember it. I don't think
I have no idea.
It's a sandal that everybody is wearing that is, it comes in gold and white.
Greg,
really nice.
I understand you wanted to pay someone their worth, but sometimes people need to work together. If you are giving them the bulk of the work, I don't see anything wrong with giving them a price.
They have to live too. If not, they're gonna go and find somewhere else.
But I'm adamant about whatever your price is, I'm going to pay. I'm not looking to beat someone down to sweatshop price because one, I'm not manufacturing 100 pieces for each garment, and then you got to think 100 pieces of this, and then you could get it in all sizes. If I want to know a different color, that's something different. If I want a different pattern with a leather pack, that's something completely different. So people always tell me about manufacturing and going to Dominican Republic or going to Brazil or Colombia, but that's an expense right there. Then bringing back in that product.
And our Barbadians can do it.
But why we had a thriving fashion industry and manufacturing industry when it came to fashion years ago. I know we're competing with China and Asia. Let me just use it as Asia. We're competing with Asia and the mass production that they can spew overnight. But we had, I think it should have been about our quality and what was Barbados instead of trying to just copy somebody else, create our own and keep that.
You know, one of the things I really would like to see, we have the best Sea Island cotton.
Yep.
The best cotton in the world. And people out there buying Egyptian sheets.
But the only thing is, even though it's the best, at $145 a yard, I ain't too sure what I'm making.
Exactly. Well, that is it. Don't you think that by now we should set up an industry with we have bales and bales of this thing just sitting on the ground, and yet the duty for towels and sheets and things like that are so crazy. T-shirts, we are importing T-shirts, and the only way we can import them.
It is Bridget sandals.
Bridget, yes, thank you. How long has the guys in Temple Yard been making those shoes? And everybody has them. They're like what, like $100 US or something. That's a lot.
So a celebrity wore them?
That's a lot of Jamaican.
So
no, everybody wears them in Barbados.
But I'm saying probably a celebrity wore it, and that's what made it fashionable.
I don't know. I don't think so. I just think they're really sexy sandals. They're really sexy sandals. But what I'm saying is that for years, that is something that probably we wouldn't have bought if it was a Barbadian doing it. So we have to be. Go and visit those guys down the road. They have some Bridgets. Not Bridgets. Not Bridgets, but
if it's Bridget, got some Britneys.
Yeah, but we have that Sea Island cotton, and I think that's when you can petition government and things like that to start giving it to people like yourself that can produce something out of it that they can then sell on. So you have the Dominican Republic selling T-shirts, and we have to import them because that is cheap. Everybody wants these T-shirts, and we have great cotton there. We have artisans that can do it. We can make our own T-shirts there. We should be making T-shirts. We should be making, taking that. We should even be bothering to export it. We're not exporting the raw material. We should be exporting a finished product. So we set it up properly, and we have a full production down there. You should go to the factory, and you would be seeing them producing sheets for hotels, towels, T-shirt, a big T-shirt industry in Barbados, and exporting the best quality T-shirt out there. So Dominican Republic shouldn't be getting that business. We should be getting that business. That's industry in Barbados. And you see, again, that is something entrepreneurs can do. That is another avenue to make money outside of tourism in export. But we have to come off of those big prices. We having the bales and they all have their dates and doing nothing. Give them to the people. Let them produce something. Set up an industry, a proper industry, and create job, foreign exchange, and creativity. It's a no-brainer for me.
I endorse this message, even though it's my show.
He has to.
No, but like, all jokes aside, Shelly, I completely agree with you. And get into fashion now, not just being a part of it in terms of as a looker, get into it as a designer and loving fashion and seeing all of the problems, seeing all the designers come throughout the years, and none of them have gone to that next level.
Yeah.
People have done stuff on the Barbados, you've done a few trade shows, you've gone somewhere, but you have not marketed yourself to become a true brand and sell beyond the fashion show that you just did?
Yeah, yeah. I was part of something the other day where they brought in with Carrie Festa, and they brought in all these buyers, and but those weren't the buyers. They were on holiday.
Those were that
They
thing.
were on holiday.
Those
And
were
I
not
don't
the
mind
real.
that you being
Those
on
were not the
holiday, but they
real.
are
They were not the
the-
real
they're
buyers. Not the
rarely-
buyers.
They're not the real buyers. But I'm saying that we have some product out there. We need to start partnering with our fashion designers. Partnering. We have products sitting down there dating back from 2001. This bale of expensive cotton. Give them something. Set up the industry properly and start your production. Start
Yes.
protecting Trinidad with their sheets and towels, because we don't make sheets and towels, but yet we have to pay very high duty to get in sheets and towels in here when we have the best cotton sitting right down in bales with dates, but no buyers.
This is.
And
This
a
is
Greg
sad.
can start. He might think his calling is a t-shirt. Yes, or a great design, but he might start a production with towels and resort wear or sheets. The finest sheets.
And know the demographic in Barbados.
Exactly.
So there's a particular
the
image,
finest.
particular standard and thing in for the West Coast, then the South Coast. So the two demographics are completely different.
And
so
you can-
the
and
products
you
that you
could
put
be-
out there are different. What you put on the West Coast is not what you put on the South Coast. You're not trying to say that only the bougie thing down there, but in there it is still completely different aesthetic and what is look. And that's the thing. People do want to come to Barbados and find a product that is solely Barbadian.
Absolutely, like that St. Lucie product. Have you seen those candles and Mauby bark soap and stuff like that? They're producing, the Barbadians are producing soap and candles and but using our indigenous stuff. I bought some cream and for my guest bathroom. And it's made out of Mauby bark, and it smells so good. And there's some made out of rum and stuff. So you really, right now, I am so excited that you probably can look at doing something like a beautiful sheet line of sheets and towels and
Y'all not hearing this.
and have them and have them trademark with Greg Williams line of household stuff, like Martha Stewart. That's where she makes all her money from. So you need to start talking to these industry people, BIDC and them, and those who are with the Sea Island. Say, listen, enough already. You're gonna keep those forever. They're gonna turn brown, and nobody's gonna buy them. Give them to us. Let us do a production line. Let's roll out a whole hotel and bath and bed line that is just Barbados, and that is what we're going to promote. And give it, like they give you some, give somebody else some. And they do their own trade name, they do their own mark, and they do their own spin. Maybe you dye it, you manipulate with something. Yeah, and you make it your own, and you start to sell it, and they can start to sell it and export it through Caribbean Export and other avenues. This is time for creativity. This is not the time to feel like we're hopeless. This is time for creativity.
Fine. Truer words could not have been said. Before we enjoy some tea time cookies,
Can't wait.
what better advice would you give to the entrepreneurs, anybody that's watching and that will watch, that looking to start their own business? What advice would you give them?
Don't be disheartened if right now it is things are not working out. Things are difficult right now. You have a great idea, you don't have funding. Or you're feeling like those things are not going to work out. Work on your idea. Perfect your idea. Work on the business end of your idea. If you are already in business, my advice, and it took me a long time to learn this, find some place cheap to rent. You must go to work every day. If you do it from home, you're going to start to treat it like if it is home. You need to get up and separate it and go to your business. Open the door, unlock the door, go in, do the business end of it. I know it's harder, but if you do it that way, then it comes with a different mindset. You're not going to be eating out the profits or using it on personal things, because now you have commitment, you have a rent to pay and whatever.
So your mindset becomes different.
Your mindset is different. You must leave home and go to your business, whatever that business is. And sometimes great ideas are not done in the time that you want it to done. My idea to do a lounge happened 5 years ago, and it did not work out, and now I'm at the point where I feel like if I need to do it right now, and I see that coming into it to tuition now. So understand that sometimes you have a great idea and there's so many stumbling blocks along your way, and you're thinking, oh my gosh, I'm disheartened, I don't want to do this anymore, maybe it's a bad idea. There's no bad ideas and there's no original idea. Somebody else has thought about it, so need to get on it and perfect it. And
even in fashion.
And register your business, because the business name is very important. Register your business name. Find that $100 to go.
101.
It's 101 to Kaipo and register your business and own your name.
I think it's more than 101.
It's
105. Yeah, 105. I think it's 105. Yeah.
Yeah. So register that business. So that's my.
So which tea time cookies you?
I'm gonna have the chocolate.
But I just like anything chocolate. And my producer's here looking at me like,
not
Lord, they can't wait to say end, because they got the Shirley's makeup and whatever. So you know what? But before I start chewing and anything look black in my teeth, let me just say, Shelly, thank you for joining me. I know how busy you are, and I really appreciate it. And I hope that all of y'all have gotten some good advice from Shelly. And send me a message and I will pass it on to Shelly if any advice that she can give you. So this was even informative for me, and you made me think about not the whole bed line, but I'm just saying, thinking about things different, because I've had conversations with a lot of people about why we don't utilize the Sea Island cotton.
Yes.
And like serious, and we want to be able to do that. But as I said, at $145 a yard,
let's petition. Look, talk to somebody. The only way we start doing these things is if we open this discussion with government, with those people, and pressure them into to doing something. And now is the time. Shoot, it's election time. Pressure everybody.
Yep. Thank you so much, Shelly. And this has been another edition. And do you like the backdrop? Because Shelly and I can see it, but you know it's green right now, as far as we can see if we look back. But so that's the new thing. Or I might switch back to the other teacup. Hey, who knows? But once again, Shelly, thank you for joining me. And this has been Tea Time with Greg. And stay tuned for more. Saturday is happy hour. Yeah, we got my boys.
Happy hour. I want to drink.
If you're not busy, come down to Brady's Bar on Saturday.
Okay.
So we have Peter Ram, and Sharianne says, well, she ready to pat and crank.
Sherry.
So Sherry girl, I got you back. So that's happy hour on Saturday from 7 to 8, and tea time is every Thursday from 6 to 7. I'm your host, Greg Williams, over and out.